Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since William Ruto got into power, he has always wanted Raila Odinga to support this government. And the reason why he has always wanted Raila to be on his side is because, number one, he wanted to get presidential legitimacy. You see, William Ruto understands very well that there was a problem with the 2022 election. To date, some people are still wishing that they would open the server that was used to declare him president, because I'm sure if that server would be opened today, it will open a can of worms. So he wanted that legitimacy because Raila and the entire Azimio had declared that they did not recognize the legitimacy of President William Samoei Ruto. In fact, I remember the Azimio running mate, Martha Karua, had said that even though the constitution allows William Ruto to be the president, in her own capacity, she does not recognize William Ruto as the president of Kenya. And so William Ruto, knowing very well that Raila commands almost half of the votes in this country, or 3/4 as many would put it, wanted Raila to be on his side. Number two, William Ruto knew very well that sooner than later there was going to be a battlefield in the UDA, and he was going to start fighting his deputy. And he knew very well that a time would come when he would want to kick out his deputy, and he did not have the numbers. So what did he do? He really wanted Raila to come and give him the requisite numbers that are needed to ouster Rigathi Gachagua. And of course, you can see what is happening, what has happened at the National Assembly, and there are fears that even at the senators are still going to go back to their masters to ask how they should vote. William Ruto also wanted Raila to support the policies that do not resonate with Kenyans, the IMF loans and all these things, the deals that he knew very well he would sign, things like Adani deal. And so when Raila got into this government, even though he says ODM is still an independent party, from the actions and utterances of the ODM members and leaders, we know that they are working very closely with the government. Now, William Ruto has gotten that legitimacy now. He does not have any problem, because you can see people like Opiyo and I and the members that were appointed to the cabinet. They are now saying that they will support William Ruto even beyond 2027. We have heard that from Opiyo and I, who is the energy CS. We have heard that from CS Mbadi of finance. So that legitimacy, he's gotten it. And that perception of politics that is now welcomed in all the four corners of Kenya. But if there is something that people have been waiting for, is Raila's voice on some of these policies, especially the Adani deal. Because we've had his people support it. We've had Opiyo and I supporting the Adani Kentraco energy deal or electricity deal. And we've had the finance CS, John Mbadi, fighting it, that the Adani deal was the best thing that ever came to Kenya. But we've always wanted to hear what Raila says about this, because William Ruto knows very well that when Raila speaks, there are people who believe that he is Alpha and Omega, and what he says becomes law. No wonder we've heard from some quarters when people are saying that there is no need of reading. I remember when people were going for a referendum and they were saying, I don't need to read that constitution. Once Raila has read it and declared his position, once he has pronounced himself, then it becomes final. But yesterday, Raila surprised many when he broke his silence and supported this Adani deal.
Under the circumstances, the most viable, tested and reliable means through which we can sustainably address the country's infrastructure needs is through public-private partnerships, what's called PPPs. I have therefore followed with a lot of interest the current debate surrounding the efforts to improve JKA and our energy sector through PPP arrangements. When I was the Prime Minister of Kenya, I was introduced to the company and its activities by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while he was then the Chief Minister of the state of Gujarat. Indeed, Prime Minister Modi organized for a Kenya government mission to visit Gujarat, and I had the opportunity to visit this company's infrastructure projects in that state that included a port, a power plant, a railway line, and an airstrip developed out of what was a swamp donated by the government of India. I'm talking about Adani group of companies. I also visited the city of Mumbai to see the electricity projects set up by the company, where it serves over 13 million consumer meters in metropolitan Mumbai and the industrial hub of Mundra Special Economic Zone. In the same city of Mumbai, I visited the international airport that had been overhauled. After the Kenya government delegation came back, the company expressed interest in investing in Kenya. The first expression of interest was far back in as 2010.
Now, Raila Odinga was saying that he has known this Adani group of companies since he was a prime minister. But the whistleblower in this Adani deal, one Nelson Amenya, begs to disagree. And he confronted Raila on these grounds. And let's go directly to what Nelson Amenya was saying. Once Raila pronounced himself and defended this Adani deal, Amenya went on his social media, the X handle, and said, when Raila was prime minister, that is 2008 to 2013, Adani had not even started operating airports in India. Yet he claims they had expressed interest in JKIA. Now, Amenya goes ahead to say that the Adani Group forayed into civil aviation with a vision to leverage its rich experience on building stellar infrastructure in transforming Indian airports. Adani Airport Holdings Limited was incorporated in 2019 and as a 100% subsidiary of Adani Enterprises Limited, the flagship company of Adani Group. Now we are left wondering who is saying the truth, because Raila says when he was prime minister, Adani was already in the aviation industry, and he says that they had expressed interest in the JKA. You must understand that Raila commands a big following. He's an opinion shaper. Now, Nelson Amenya is also saying that Raila has pulled the same move he pulled during finance bill protest on Adani scam deals today. Disgusting oldie. Now, what Nelson is saying is that the same way Raila called on his supporters to pull from the street protest and support William Ruto, and the Gen Z's protest subsided with immediate effect. That is the same thing he has done today. And people are already attacking Nelson Amenya. And I wanted to see this. No sooner had Raila voiced his support for Adani, have all Nyagiges rallied behind Adani like headless chicken. That is now Amenya. I think he is also going head on. Sijui ni concentrate na MBA yangu juu we is regretting the way people are attacking him. One of the attacks is, one of the critics of Amenya was saying this. According to Raila Odinga's statement, where do you find fault? The way you behave, I've monitored you for long. It seems you are holding brief for a certain French company. French company wanted to do Mau Summit Road. They have unreasonable terms. The deal was cancelled. They are back. So this person feels that Nelson Amenya could be working for one of the French company because they wanted to build the Mau Summit Road and that contract was terminated. You can see the way it's going. Another person is telling Amenya, Kenyans feed on lies and Amenya is taking advantage of that. As you can see, The moment Raila pronounced himself and took sides and supported the Adani deal, people are already attacking Nelson Amenya. I remember when Amenya first released this clandestine move to sign the Adani deal, he was a hero. Because were it not for him, ladies and gentlemen, this thing would have been signed secretly. And people are praising Amenya when he contacted the Kisii Senator Richard Onyonka and told him, please take this because Kenyans are about to lose money. Now that Raila has spoken, the same way people pulled out from the streets, now people are attacking Amenya, and this thing is going to be sanitized. Raila sanitized Ruto's legitimacy now. Raila has okayed the removal of Rigathi Gachagua. Now he has sanitized the Adani deal. I was reading some of the comments, and it is said that there was a 200, there was a 102% rise in average of cost of electricity that was brought from Adani in Gujarat. This has been trending, and people are saying that once Adani, because there's a deal that has been signed between Adani and a contractor for the energy and electricity, people are being told that we should prepare that there's going to be a lot of there's going to be electricity prices increment. And there are questions, ladies and gentlemen. I do not know whether the Raila is right or it is Amenya is right, but one thing we should agree is that there are questions. Adani has been chased, and I remember even in India there was a lot of demonstration. In Germany there was a contract that was blocked. People feel that there's a lot to scrutinize in Adani deal. And I remember when John Badi was put to pressure to explain, he could not explain this. There's a lot, quite a lot. When Adani comes in, the civil aviation workers will lose their jobs. People are also asking why the government decided on a single sourcing mode rather than subjecting this to open tender. You see, when things are done in a clandestine way, then you realize that someone wants to eat. That is what we can say. And I remember Raila has always exposed DOSSIER in the oil to government oil deal, the scam in the education sector, the exam sector. But now Adani deal all of a sudden becomes clean. And I understand that maybe Adani could be clean, but there are a lot of questions surrounding Adani deal. Why can't we, or why couldn't we just place it under open tender so that we give the best? I remember when Murkomen, who is the former CS of transport, kept on telling us that Jomo Kenyatta was in a very sorry state and it was leaking. Little did we know that we were being prepared, because we are told that after this, the Adani group of companies realized that Jomo Kenyatta was in a very pathetic state, and therefore they came and initiated private initiative kind of deal where someone comes and tells you, I can see your airport is leaking and I want to come in and help. We are being told. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are not attacking the person of Raila. As a matter of fact, you cannot take away what Raila has done to this country. You know, I don't need to go into that. But sometimes we need to speak the truth. Raila is giving William Ruto a lot of weight and audacity to mess up our country. And when the history is written, we cannot forget what Raila has done to this country. But we can also not forget that he gave William Ruto support, and William Ruto, undertaken policies that were very injurious to Kenyans. And so I don't know who is right. You can judge for yourself. The people who are supporting Raila are now saying that there is nothing wrong with Raila's statement. Raila was only saying that this company is good and we only need to put checks and balances so that whatever they do gives, people get value for their money. But as it is, your guess is as good as mine.